Welcome to round 2 of the OG freeride footage dump. This is all the stuff I found a couple weeks ago and I'm still digging through it and I have plenty more to share. Let's just dive right into it. The first thing I want to share with you is arguably the best trip I've ever taken in my entire life. Eric Porter and the Gravity team organized this trip to ride with Ruben Alcantara in Malaga, Spain. We went to all of Ruben's best spots. It was like being in a Ruben Alcantara video part. As you walk through downtown Malaga, you're like, wait a minute, that's that, you know. Everywhere we went was just insane. Being able to just watch Ruben Alcantara ride in person was one of the most special moments of my life. And then for us to be able to hit those places as well, even better. As far as I know, this is the first team trip that was taken to Spain, and there have been many others to follow, but this was for sure the best one. This trip was really special, not just because we got to hang out with Ruben, but the crew that was there was just all time. We got to shoot with Haruks, I got to be there doing video stuff, and we had Smutok, Ben Boyko, and Eric Porter as well. Just an all-time crew in one of the most epic places to ride bikes in the world. This is a trip to remember. I still have photos from this trip on my wall. You know who's awesome? Greg Minnaar. Let me tell you a little story. Phil Sundbaum and I went to Perth, Australia for the Summer of Shred project, and we were meant to ride with, at the time, the best downhill rider in the world who happened to live in that area. Through sort of a miscommunication with that rider's manager, we ended up just spending 5 days in Perth, Australia, killing time waiting for something to happen, which nothing ever did. So a couple weeks later, we ran into Greg Minnaar in Whistler and asked if he would mind filming something with us. And of course he was super down because Greg Minnaar is arguably one of the coolest people on the planet and still absolutely killing it on the downhill race scene. So Minnaar jumped in and helped us film a downhill segment for the Summer of Shred film at Whistler with Phil, and it was everything we hoped it was going to be. Minnaar came in super clutch, and not that I wasn't already his biggest fan, but it's over. I still can never thank Minnaar enough for all of his help on this one, and truthfully, the day riding with him was probably better than we would have had anywhere else anyways. I mean, it's Whistler. In the early days of freeride, we had to get a little creative to put on contests, especially in the winter. It was January, the weather was terrible in the Northwest, and we had to come up with something to do. There was this contest called The Gathering, which was held at an indoor motocross park in Seattle, and for some reason there was a year that they couldn't hold the contest, and we came up with an event in Portland called the Wham Bam Thank You Jam. We brought in riders from all over the world to this little indoor motocross park, and they all threw down. We ended up expanding that on to a couple other events, but this was really a glimpse at the early days of freeride competition.
I'm Billy Lewis.
Through my time filming, one of the riders that I absolutely loved working with was this guy, Billy Lewis. No doubt one of the most stylish riders, whether it was on dirt, on cement, anywhere you went. Came from a BMX background and absolutely lit it up everywhere we went. We took him to New Zealand with us on one of our trips, and in this particular clip, he spent about an hour just firing out hammer after hammer at the Windell's skate park. This clip that I'm sharing with you now was part of Windell's, also part of the Northwest School of Freeride at the time. It's a cool indoor park. I think High Cascade has recently taken it over and expanded it out quite a bit since then, but some OG footage of Billy just throwing down at this place. Super tech, super smooth, and just kind of fun to watch. Billy is still absolutely shredding, so enjoy this little throwback. This is our first trip ever to New Zealand. This is the trip that absolutely blew our minds and opened our eyes to what was available down there. We saw everything there was to see. We had our first experience at the Frew farm. We saw a gorge road for our first time. We met the Frew brothers, Dan and Brett. We met Kelly McGarry for the first time. And most importantly, we met Caleb Smith, who at the time was running Spoke magazine. He was kind of our fixer as we went through New Zealand. He was a skate and mountain bike photographer and really helped make everything happen for us. We can never thank Caleb enough for all of his patience with us as we traveled through the islands. We've had so many good adventures with him in New Zealand and beyond. This trip right here was really the start of everything. So that's it. Thanks for watching the second freeride footage extravaganza. I hope you enjoyed it. It's so fun just to look back at the OG stuff that we did, in the early 2000s. If you're enjoying this and the rest of the stuff on the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, and let's keep firing this stuff out. Thanks again.